Welcome back to World of Warships with your host, X-Brad TC. Today we're following Tinclad in the mighty Tier 4 U.S. destroyer, the USS Clemson. Clemson's actually an interesting little ship. She was commissioned in 1919. She was one of the mass production wartime four pipers. Unlike most of the other ships in the four pipers, instead of having single 4-inch mounts, Clemson had twin 4-inch mounts on each of her gun positions, effectively doubling her firepower, which is a great improvement over the Tier 3 USS Wicks that you see in World Warships. And while she served only briefly as a destroyer, she was decommissioned in 1922, and then she was recommissioned around the outbreak of World War II, but she was converted from a destroyer to a small seaplane tender. And she served mostly in the Caribbean and the South Atlantic off Brazil and whatnot as a seaplane tender. And then she was reconverted back into a destroyer. And as a destroyer, she did provide escort services, and she teamed up with the USS Bogue, which you might know as the Tier 5 carrier in World Warships. She was part of the Bogue Hunter-Killer group and served, I want to say, 8 patrols with the Bogue, maybe 5, but part of a very successful Hunter-Killer group, exploiting the mid-Atlantic area where the German U-boats were not used to finding carrier aircraft. Alright, the enemy's been detected. So we're here on the fault line map, and we've got a good start on C, we've got a good start on A,
engine boost activated,
and Tinclad is moving in. After service as a destroyer, being redesignated as a destroyer, she went back into the yard, I want to say late 1943, early 1944, and she was converted then into a fast transport. The idea was remove the last 2 boilers and use that for space for berthing, and a DD could carry roughly a company-sized element. And generally what you found was the fast transports would transport a Navy Special Warfare team, that is the UDTs, the Underwater Demolition Technicians, that would clear the beaches of the assault beaches. After conversion to a fast attack transport, she served in the Pacific, and she was undergoing reconversion back to a destroyer when the end of the war came. And after the war, she was scrapped. And
generator started.
Mostly destroyers are named after Medal of Honor and Navy Cross winners. USS Clemson, and it's the only ship to have bared the name in the Navy, was named for a midshipman who was lost when his ship capsized while chasing a blockade runner during the Mexican-American War. Alright, and Tinclad actually sent me detailed notes on this engagement. I don't take notes after I'm reading. 6 torpedoes from starboard on DD, 2.7 kilometer range, target aspect 270, destroyed Shenyang.
Engine boost deactivated.
That's 1. Oh, and look, there's Takuma. Point blank range, torpedoes. That's 2.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
And the friendly torpedoes there were just a tad bit too close. But that's 2 devastating strikes right there. So Tinclad is off to a rather glorious start. That Kuma never knew what hit him. Back into the smoke, avoid the Karlsruhe. Thorpe's out on the Orion. Dude, shoot the Karlsruhe. Alright. Torps on the Orion are gonna miss. You're detected. Come on, he's a sitting duck. Shoot him.
Torpedoes astern.
Alright.
Reporting the position
Tinclad's
of
a naval aviator, so this
Is taking the lead.
naval
Torpedoes
gunnery
astern.
thing isn't really his strong suit. Ouch.
The ship is on fire. Problem solved, sir.
Alright, we've gone from mostly capping A and C to having lost A and C, and nobody's got B. We're down 4 ships to 2. We're at 50% health. Still, 2 kills,
Torpedoes to
32,000 damage, 2 devastating strikes. We're safe from those torpedoes. So let's see what Tinclad does next. By the way, that shift press to enter the binocular view, that's a replay bug that came up in the 6.1.5 patch, and nobody knows how to get rid of it, so I'm sorry about that. Alright, going after the Congo. Yeah, that target aspect angle, no.
Engine boost activated.
Tinclad, your range is only 5.5. They gotta be closing a lot more than that for you to get some hits on them. Oh. I guess he was closing a little bit. Got one into him. One hit. Time to reattack. He's obviously stopped the flooding, or he
Is
didn't
taking the lead.
score any flooding. Yeah, I guess he did. See, the problem is the sinking Hulk is probably
Smoke
going to
generator started.
intercept the torpedoes. Alright. Off from the Congo, let's go find the Wyoming. Nope. Skip the Wyoming, let's go after the New York.
Smoke screen set.
Congo's turned, he's safe. Those torps aren't going to get him. Congo's running away, and the Congo's almost as fast as the Clemson. So, it's kind of hard to do much to him. But the New York is closing in quickly. And we're still undetected.
Engine boost deactivated.
Alright, we're going to see 6 torps from port on the New York. Detected. That's life as an American destroyer captain. You're going to get detected anytime you launch torps. Told you, should have killed that Karlsruhe earlier.
Problem solved, sir.
Now, how dumb is this New York captain? He knows there's a destroyer here, and he takes a torch. And having just taken a torpedo, he keeps steaming in a straight line. And he takes another torpedo. And because he just used his damage control ability, and he's on the cooldown, he is flooding and flooding and flooding. More torps out. I do believe this spread is going to miss. But we've got the starboard side torps already. New York is still flooding. Starboard side torps away. And Rick has been detected this whole time. I mean, he's not exactly hidden from view. Another set of torps coming in. And we've set a fire. Got a torpedo hit on him. And flooded him out. Nicely done. That's 3. 91,000 damage, 2 devastating strikes, and the liquidator. 11 gun hits, 7 floodings, 1 in-cap, 3 kills, 8 torpedo hits, and 1 fire.
Torpedoes, dead ahead.
Torps out on the Clemson, it's a miss. More torps out on the Clemson.
Critical engine damage.
That's 4.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
Problem solved, sir.
Unfortunately, we're stuck here in a knife fight with the Wyoming.
Critical engine damage.
Torps out. Got 1 set of torps out on the Wyoming before we went down under a hail of gunfire. Now, you're a Wyoming driver. You know the Clemson has torpedoes on both sides. It's one thing to start turning and take 1 torpedo, but to take 2? There's high caliber and the 11th torpedo hit of this battle. And oh, look at that, up in the upper right hand corner. He is flooding out. His damage control is apparently on cooldown. The Iron Duke here has 4 kills himself. Between Tinclad and the Iron Duke, they did 75% of the kills on this particular battle. Oh look, still flooding. 124,000 damage, 125. And there goes the Wyoming. Kraken unleashed.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
that damn Carl Drew that I told him to kill earlier. Okay, so 2 devastating strikes. The Kraken, Liquidator, high caliber. It's just a flesh wound. 125,000 damage, 14 gun hits, 11 torpedo hits, 2 in caps, 5 kills, 1 fire, 11 floodings. Top of the team, 1,500 base XP. Not bad at all. And you'll notice the Iron Duke had 4 kills. So 9 out of the 12 kills were by either Tinclad or that Iron Duke. And he seriously exploited flooding to kill both the New York and the Wyoming. Good use of the enemy's inability to use damage control. When I asked Tinclad to send me the replay file for this battle, he not only added that, he tossed in a detailed account of exactly what happened during the entire battle, which surprisingly makes narrating these much easier. So thanks, Tinclad. I look forward to seeing more of your Kraken battles. And guys, if you like the video, give us a toss us a like.